NFL 24. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Jets. All that and more coming up next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the New York Jets. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Ball again. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On third down, here's Hall. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Well, he didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Straight ahead is Hall. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game that will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Rodgers now on first down. Caught on the right side by Adams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jets first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
Rodgers now on first down. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. How about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they caught the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz and change the blocking assignments. He comes through and puts him on the ground.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
This hold in by Conklin.
Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, a 24-yard touchdown.
And the Jets put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive.
They're led by the #1 overall pick of the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior, whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and doing everything in his power to follow through.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
They go play action with Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. Taken down at the 42. Tackled by Ashton Davis up from the secondary. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And his throw is incomplete. Not the warmest starts throwing the football. He was 1 for 3, now 1 for 4 in the opening drive.
So getting him comfortable is the key. Man, for him, it might be different than what we think is comfortable. We're probably thinking swing passes, easy checkdowns. Some guys, they're better off throwing it downfield. That's what really loosens them up.
On third down, Lawrence. He'll air this one out for Kirk. And that would be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Jets will take over. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Rodgers. That is caught. It's Williams. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
24 yards to gain there. Another first down as well.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Rodgers now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
and the made field goal. Zerline back out there now to send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground. ETN.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Lawrence will throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time how a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Paul on a give up the middle.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22.
Working from the gun, Rodgers.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Rodgers to throw.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him, and try and cover him before he gets going.
On first down, Rodgers got his man complete over the middle. That's Williams. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line.
Now it's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. Touchdown! It's Devontae Adams hauling it in from Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now Zerline on and the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And Devontae Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Open man downfield is Duvernay.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10.
Now Lawrence.
And the ball is knocked out.
And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
Previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Again, it's Lawrence.
He will find Davis on the left side, complete.
And the Jaguars are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. In the first half, we saw some great play from Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play.
(17-3) the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Lawrence. Into space at the 45.
And he takes it all the way up to the 47. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And the Jaguar first down.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
A short throw to Ingram. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
From just shy of midfield, here's second down and 8. They go play action with Lawrence.
No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. Third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone is going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
But to throw again is Lawrence. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10
at their own 18.
He'll give it to Hall to start the drive.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23.
There on the tackle, Amani Oruwariye.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he completes it to Wilson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
2nd and 10.
Now Rodgers. And it's complete to Adams. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
From the 20, here's 2nd down and 1.
On play action, Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Rodgers.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the 1st half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the 1st target in the 2nd half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. They'll find him. Find him.
A 37-yard attempt.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
Yeah, great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Lawrence running right on the option.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line.
Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Lawrence. And they'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Jaguars' first down. Boy, that was a tough couple of yards to pick up, but they convert on 4th and 1.
4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Lawrence with a completion to Kirk.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd down and 3. Motion man left is Kirk. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down.
And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Lawrence.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Christian Kirk on the receiving end of that touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence. And the Jags are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Jets have got it. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
They'll go again with Hall.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. To throw is Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs.
So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars.
Down 20-10, a minute 45 to play. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That was one they needed to connect on. They're down, but not quite out. So you have to figure, with under 2 minutes to play, they need to hit on something in very short order.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Lawrence.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion. Really good pickup.
Throwing now, Lawrence.
He's going to let it fly. And this one is incomplete.
This defense has been so stingy all game long. No reason to think it's suddenly going to open up now. They took their shot, but this, like many others, falls incomplete.
Here's 2nd down. Here's Lawrence. Connects with Duvernay.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Back to throw, Lawrence.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to get the football here at their own 23.
For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
The Jets ready to get going again here on offense.
And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's a win here for the Jets. Now, we've said it so many times in the past, but it was Aaron Rodgers, CD, who really led the way.
Yeah, he really had his A game tonight. He threw a couple of touchdown passes, and he was instrumental in earning this victory.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon.